Neuroscientists accidentally discovered something while scanning infant brains that made them rerun the data 3 times. Because what a baby's brain does the moment dad starts playing with them doesn't look like joy, comfort, or even excitement. It looks like training. Researchers have spent decades studying infant development, and one of the most consistently surprising findings is this. The way a baby's brain responds to their father playing with them is neurologically distinct from every other interaction they have, not slightly different. Distinctly, measurably, uniquely different. And most dads are out there doing it without knowing what they are actually building inside their child. Here is the first thing that will surprise you. When researchers compared how babies respond to mothers versus fathers during play across multiple countries and cultures, they kept finding the same pattern. Fathers naturally gravitate toward what developmental scientists call activation play. Wilder, more physically unpredictable, louder, more surprising. And no matter how many times researchers asked fathers to tone it down and play more calmly, they kept drifting right back toward that energetic, chaotic, thrilling style. It is not something dads learn from watching other dads. It appears to emerge from something biological in the father-infant relationship itself. And here's the kicker. The baby's nervous system responds to it like it has been waiting for exactly this. Now let's talk about what is actually happening in the baby's brain during those wild moments when dad is making ridiculous noises or tossing them gently in the air. Multiple systems activate simultaneously. The arousal system ramps up. The attention circuits sharpen to a razor's edge, and crucially, the emotional regulation circuits. The ones responsible for riding the line between excitement and overwhelm engage in a way that researchers have found does not happen during any other type of interaction. Not with toys, not with screens, not during quieter play with mom. Only this produces this particular neurological cocktail. And look at the baby's face when it is happening. Those wide eyes, that electric quality of attention, the way the whole body seems to vibrate with delight. Developmental psychologists have a specific term for what they are observing in those expressions. Positive challenge. The baby is right at the edge of what they can handle, and some part of them knows it and absolutely loves it. But here is where it gets really fascinating. And this is the part I most want parents to hear. That feeling of being at the edge, thrilled but ultimately safe, is not just fun. It is teaching the baby something so foundational that its effects will show up years later in their behavior. Researchers call it neurological courage, the capacity to move towards something unfamiliar or uncertain without being swallowed by anxiety. Studies tracking children from their earliest months into preschool age found something remarkable. The amount of active physical play a child had with their father in the first 2 years of life actually predicted how readily that child approached new people, new places, and new challenges at ages 3 and 4. Every safe surprise dad creates is quietly installing a belief in the baby's nervous system. The unknown is survivable. The edge of what I know is worth exploring. And what about those moments when the play goes one step too far? Every parent knows this scene. Baby is laughing, then suddenly the laughter tips into crying. The excitement became too much. Here is what the research tells us. That moment is not a failure. The moment of going too far and then coming back, the repair, the soothing, the transition from overwhelm back to safety, is itself a profound lesson. The baby is learning that big feelings have an end, that when emotions spike, a trusted person shows up to help bring them down. The dad who stays present when the baby tips into tears rather than backing away is completing one of the most important emotional education sequences in early childhood. There is another layer here that stunned researchers when they first documented it. Baby laughter during father play is physiologically different from laughter in other contexts. Heart rate higher, arousal more intense, episodes longer. The brain in that state is receiving some of the strongest positive reinforcement it ever experiences. It is essentially stamping those moments as deeply significant. And the person at the center of all that joy gets encoded into the baby's developing nervous system as someone associated with aliveness itself. I've linked a resource in the description that I think you'll find really helpful. Here is something the research also revealed that surprised even the scientists. The biology flows in both directions. Fathers who engage in this kind of active, physical, energetic play with their babies show measurably larger increases in oxytocin, the bonding hormone, than fathers who interact with their babies more quietly. The wild play is not just what the baby needs. It is the very interaction that most powerfully deepens the father's attachment too. Dad is not just giving something, he is receiving something that no other experience can generate. Studies comparing children who had regular active play with their fathers to those who did not found meaningful differences across multiple areas. Better emotional regulation at age 3, greater frustration tolerance at 5, stronger peer relationships in early childhood. All of it traceable back to those seemingly silly afternoons of getting tossed in the air and hearing Dad make the same ridiculous sound for the 15th time. And that repetition matters more than you think. When a baby demands the same game again and again, laughing the same laugh every single time, their brain is not bored. It is practicing the management of positive anticipation. It is building a prediction and confirming it is safe. It is learning, at the deepest neurological level, how to look forward to something. If you are a father watching this, hear this clearly. What you do when you get on the floor with your baby is not optional entertainment. It is not a supplement to real parenting. It is irreplaceable. The specific neurological experiences that father play creates cannot be replicated by anything else. What feels like goofing around is constructing the architecture of how your child will face the world for the rest of their life. So, get on the floor, make the ridiculous sound, toss them gently, be unpredictable. Stay present when it goes a beat too far, and soothe them back. Because every single one of those moments is permanent. You are not just playing with your baby, you are building a person, one laugh at a time, and they have been waiting for exactly you. Subscribe to our channel so we can help your family grow together, and check out our helpful resource in the description.